Hello everybody and welcome to this video. In today's video we'll be looking at paper 1 question 2 and how to get full marks, as well as giving you the inside scoop from the AQA exam board. The key skills tested for question 2 is the analysis of language, with the expectation that you will focus your analysis on specific line numbers. You'll be awarded marks for the use of accurate quotations which are embedded and taken from the line stated, analysing at sentence level and word level, analysing sentence forms and structures, naming the language technique or feature, and explaining the effect on the reader. This question will assess the first part of AO2, Assessment Objective 2, where you are expected to explain, comment on and analyse how writers use language to achieve effects and influence their readers, as well as using relevant subject terminology to support your views. Question 2 will test your ability to analyse how writers use language to achieve effects and will look something like this. Look in detail at this extract from lines 8 to 18 of the source. How does the writer use language to describe the effects of the weather? Question 2 directs you to a key section of the extract which is provided within your question paper. The idea here is to help you focus on the features of language. This question makes it clear that you are to focus on language analysis. The exam board also provides bullet points as a helpful reminder of the sort of features that you can use in order to build your response. So it says you could include the writer's choice of words and phrases, language features and techniques, and sentence forms. However, please note the word could, which has been highlighted, as there is no requirement from the exam board for all 3 bullet points to be covered, as they say it's just a guide. Remember, you'll be credited for any worthy responses that address assessment objective number 2. So what do the examiners expect from you? They will expect all responses to be true and drawn from the line stated. They will expect for you to choose some examples of language. AQA have stated that students who narrowed their choice and then explored the effects of their selected examples in depth were more successful. Therefore, you need to write a lot about a little, and what I mean by that is pick 2, maximum 3 points and obviously develop them into your paragraph. You also will need to write about the effects of your selected examples of language. This is the most important part of the question, which you must link back to the reader. And lastly, the use of subject terminology needs to be used in order to enhance your response. The use of subject terminology should enhance your analysis and not be the driving force behind your answer. You must note the following. AQA have stated it is the quality of your analysis that is credited. Where language terminology is used, it is how well you make use of it to improve the quality of your response. And what AQA mean by that is that you need to explain the effect of the simile, the effect of the metaphor, the effect of the pathetic fallacy, or the effect of the exclamative sentence in relation to the extract. So you need to think about the why. You need to ask yourself, why has the writer used pathetic fallacy? What is his or her intention? And what effect does it have on the reader? So what did we learn from the 2017 summer exam? AQA have stated the reasons behind not attaining full marks on this question is because students identified and labelled language features but failed to comment on the effect on the reader or explained the reason behind the writer's choices. They offered a basic or generic comment, for example, it creates a picture in our heads, which could be applied to most examples of language. Therefore, comments like this will be awarded a level 1. They selected very long and lengthy quotations rather than focusing on individual words or phrases. So make sure you analyse words, so singular words, and explain the effects of them, or a short quotation. So a rule of thumb would be no more than 5 words in a quotation, and obviously give or take 1 or 2. Which the example says the idea of students quoting really long quotations leads to them paraphrasing rather than analysing language. Students also use complex subject terminology and would litter their work with subject terminology. find examples of these techniques in the source, even if they did not exist, and just try to make it fit. You can be awarded top marks for your answer, even if you do not have a range of complex subject terminology. The exam board would rather you have accurate subject terminology than write the wrong thing. And finally, students would analyse punctuation. There are no marks awarded for the analysis of punctuation in this question. So how do we avoid these common mistakes that the 2017 Year 11 cohort made? Here are my top tips on how to get full marks on this question. First of all, planning. Planning is essential. You must read and highlight the key words. So for example, you might want to highlight lines 8 to 18. You might want to highlight the word how to make sure that you are focused and reminded that you must explain the how, so the why the writer has used that simile or the metaphor, etc. You might want to highlight the word language to make sure that your work is focused on finding language techniques, and the word effects to make sure that you're constantly linking it back to the effect on the reader. What is the writer's intention? And then you may also want to highlight the stem of the question. So what is it that they're asking you to look for? So in this case, it's all about the weather. Another point you might want to highlight is the word could, as this will remind you that those 3 bullet points are suggestions, and the exam board have specifically said they do not require students to write a paragraph on each one of those bullet points. They would rather you focus on 2 points and write in depth than include 5 or 6 points that have no real depth to it. Once you've done that, I would highlight and annotate your extract, so don't spend longer than 5 minutes annotating and highlighting the extract. So for example, you could see the word exposed. You might look at the word exposed, pop down next to it the subject terminology or the technique the writer has used, and a short, quick bullet point analysis. So for example, vulnerability or lack of control. Once you've done that, I would then start writing your 2 petal paragraphs. Now obviously petal stands for point, evidence, technique, analysis, link. Please be reminded that each institution has a different format, so please use whatever makes you feel comfortable. Obviously, 2 petal paragraphs is just a guide. Once you've done that, you need to make sure that you understand that your analysis on the effect has to be accurate and contextualised. When selecting examples of language, you must make sure that you are selecting examples of language that you understand and are able to analyse or say something meaningful about. You also need to remember that you get marks on being able to explain and analyse the effects of words, phrases, techniques, and therefore you do not get marks for just mentioning the pathetic fallacy or the simile. You must explain the effect of that particular word or the short quote or the method the writer has used, and in particular you need to link it back to the reader. You also need to make sure that you understand that your analysis on the effect has to be accurate and contextualised in order to achieve level 3 or above. And what I mean by that is it needs to be contextualised and driven from the overall meaning, tone or mood of the text. So for example, dark imagery doesn't always foreshadow death, and sibilance isn't always meant to be sinister. These are common pitfalls that students fall in, so make sure that when you are analysing the effect of the language, it is contextualised and it goes with the overarching meaning, tone, etc. of the passage. My top tip would be that you need to write a lot about a little. It is entirely possible to display a clear or perceptive, so level 4 understanding of the text without overwriting. You do not need additional sheets of paper in your exam. So let's look at why this paragraph was awarded a level 4. Now this has come out of the mark scheme, and I will link the paper and the mark scheme down below. So the paragraph starts. The opening paragraph consists of a single complex sentence, perhaps reflecting the onward movement of the coach. Right from the start, this answer has named the technique, so the complex sentence, and explains the why the writer has used the complex sentence, so the effect. They have said it's because it reflects the onward movement of the coach. Now you can see there it reflects the onward movement of the coach is contextualised within the source. They then go on to say the adjective exposed and the noun force invoke the idea of vulnerability, danger, and how little control man has over the power of nature. Once again, they've named the technique the writer has used, so adjective and noun. They have also found precise and accurate quotations, which are nice and neatly embedded, so exposed and force. You can also see here that they are quoting just words, so make sure you quote words as well as phrases. And that they've also included an analysis, so the part in purple invoke the idea of vulnerability and danger, and then they've used the word and, so and how little control man has over power. So they've used their different layers of meaning. The verb rocking progresses the cumulative effect of the list of verbs shaking, trembling and swayed, leading to the simile rocking between the high wheels like a drunken man, suggesting the coach is lurching happily, its movement out of control. So you can see there once again they've got in red accurate subject terminology, in green their quotations which are nice and neatly embedded and accurate and short, as well as their analysis, so the word suggesting signifies or signposts to the examiner that this is your analysis. So why did this get a level 4? As you can see, they analyse the effects of the writer's choices, so they're explaining the why the writer has used the noun or the verb or the complex sentence or the simile. They've also selected a judicious range of textual detail, so you can see there that they have quoted phrases, so short phrases and singular words, as well as used a range of quotations, different quotations in their answer. In addition to that, they've used accurate and sophisticated subject terminology, so the complex sentence, instead of just saying it's a long sentence, the word adjective, noun, verb, simile, cumulative effect. So they've used a range of subject terminology within their paragraph. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel before you leave. If you found this video helpful and would like more tutorials, then please press the like button and leave a comment down below. Until next time, goodbye.